Hello and welcome to the Extended Disc mini webinar. It's a 15-minute webinar and my name is Christina Bowser. I'm the training director at Extended Disc, and joining me today is my colleague Markku Kauppanen, president of Extended Disc. Hi Markku.
Hi Christina, hello everybody, thanks for joining us.
Today we're doing our special summer series and we're focused in on the sales capacity assessments. Team and individual. I wrote team there, but it does also include individual. And today we're going to focus specifically on the excuse index. And we're going to show you how to interpret it and what value and tips for using it. Ready to get started, Markku? Oh, sorry. You would think I've been doing this so long, I would get it right, right?
Yes.
As always, we will be recording it and we'll be putting it on our YouTube channel. And we love your questions, but we don't necessarily usually have time to put them on air. So put them in the Q&A section for us and check your sound. I think we're good.
Good to go.
All right, let's get started. So let's just kind of revisit a little bit, especially for our new viewers. What do we mean by Think's Sales Capacity Assessment Suite? Woo.
Yeah, there you go, mouthful. And yes, it's not based on DISC, so that's the first thing to know, but it's still on the same assessment platform that we call Thinks. So if you're using the DISC assessments or the sales capacity assessments, and of course of the topic here, we have a sports capacity assessments, but good news is it's all on the same platform. So you can very easily manage your data, you understand what's going on, create teams, etc. Plus also, with the DISC side, we have what's called a Sales 18 that ties directly to the sales capacity assessment. So it makes it very easy to manage this. Again, sales capacity assessment, as the name implies, is for salespeople. So if you are not in sales, you may actually have some difficulty answering the questionnaire. So this is for salespeople. And what we are really measuring is what is their present level of competency. Some people like to use skill level at 18 different competencies, and we do look at many other things like that topic today. What is the level of excuses salespeople happen to make, because we all do make excuses. The good news with sales capacity, that it's the same as the DISC questionnaire and assessments. You complete the questionnaire one time and you are able to get access to not only to all of the individual sales capacity assessments, but to all of the team assessment as well.
And what's great about it is, you know, today we're presenting you focused reports on the excuse index, but the excuse index is also part of many other reports, or you can actually customize and put it into any of the sales capacity assessment reports if you so choose. So this flexibility of actually getting the information that you need in the right report, I think is one of the hallmarks of this particular suite of tools.
Yeah, we use the same concept as with the DISC assessments. We do not believe that here's a one size fit all assessment for leadership or sales or customer service and so on. You are able to customize the report so you get the information you need, not anything extra, or if you want a lot of information, you can do it, you can get access to it, but you are in control the kind of information you get or your colleagues get, your sales team gets. So you have a lot of flexibility. And if you have any questions about that, of course, we'll provide you with our contact information at the end and you can just reach out to us.
Okay, so why don't we take a look at how the, well, let's just talk about the excuse index. This is actually a screenshot of what it looks like in an individual report. So again, Markku, let's talk about what is the excuse index.
Well, you know, and those who have joined us these webinars before, you know, this is my favorite part of the sales capacity assessment, because we all make excuses. I mean, not in only sales, we make excuses in all parts of our life. I don't need to embarrass myself or anybody else about thinking about what excuses we made today already. And selling is a tough, tough profession. And we all make, like I said, all make excuses, but in sales, I think the temptation and the pressure to make excuses is fairly high. So what the excuse index provides is that how high is the likelihood that the salesperson actually does make those excuses and does not focus on activities that are directly focused on sales results. So here we have an example from an individual assessment. This person, Sam Sample, has a score of 25%. And what that means in practice is that this person will spend 25% of his time in activities that have nothing to do with sales. We don't know what they might be. It might be Facebook, might be just kind of busy work, but they're not selling. The average for salespeople is 35%. So actually Sam is doing pretty well, because if somebody has a 35% excuse index, which is the average, they spend only 65% of their time selling. So lower the score is, the better. Higher it is, more excuses they're likely to make.
Yeah, and it's just so easy to and intuitive to understand. It's out of 100%, and as you mentioned, lower scores means they're spending less time on non-sales related tasks, and in this case, 75% is directly on the sales process. Is that right?
That is right. And what's always been interesting about this excuse index is that salespeople do own up to the number. I mean, they do know, of course, how much time they're not selling. I mean, and the excuses are all kind of different things, and everybody has to know their own excuses, and they vary from one moment to next. I just don't feel like doing this. I'm afraid to do it. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe this is not a good prospect. We can rationalize things in many different ways, but this puts a number and really puts in a context of what does this mean in terms of my effectiveness and efficiency as a salesperson. I've seen scores as high as 80%. So if you think about that, if you're a sales manager, it's really going to keep you up at night. And the lowest scores I've ever seen is, I believe, is 6%. And that's pretty remarkable. Somebody spending 94% of their time selling. That's just, to me, somebody must be really, really driven and want to succeed. Hopefully they have everything else they need to succeed, but that number, just dynamite.
Yeah, and a lot of our clients are telling us, initially they read through it and they understand it, but then it becomes like that go-to page. They get a report about their salesperson, they go straight to the excuse index, they look at the number, and they have an immediate kind of idea of how to interpret the rest of the report, which is great.
Yeah, especially with sales managers, business owners, sales coaches, and trainers, this is the number that they often look at first. This tells me where are my challenges, where are my problems. And if the excuse indexes are very high, then the sales manager or the other groups that I just mentioned, they know that, okay, this is the kind of things I need to do. What kind of accountability system I need to build? What are the kind of coaching levels and how frequency of coaching I need to engage in with my different salespeople? If I have a salesperson with a 6% score, I probably want to leave them alone. So whatever you're doing, keep doing your magic. Can I help you in any way? But somebody has 40%, then I need to be more careful and pay closer attention and make sure that we have a processes, systems, and everything in place that we make them sure that they are more focused on activities that are focused on selling.
Right. And then just kind of build on that, this is looking at the excuse index for one particular individual, but there's kind of a magic and even more information when, as a sales manager, you're coaching a sales team, you can actually look at the excuse index for the entire team.
Yeah, this is really where the sales managers, this is their go-to page. This is the information they want to know, because there we can see where everybody in their sales team is in terms of the sales excuse index. So kind of the bad news for this team is in Franklin, they are somewhere there around 70%. So I can't remember, higher the score is, the worse it is in terms of their effectiveness and their focus on selling. The lower it is, that's good news. So P. Watson and J. Einstein, they are at the better end of the scale. But if I'm a sales manager of this group, I'm going to lose some sleep, because what are these guys doing? Why they're not selling? Because a lot of them fall there right in the middle, meaning that half of the time they are doing something else besides what they're supposed to be doing. So now I have an idea what my problem is, where the pain is, and more importantly, now I need to start thinking about how do I actually prove it. Of course, the other parts of the sales capacity assessment, when we talked about this, Christina, with the other webinars, talks about how to develop the competencies, how to overcome those self-defeating beliefs. All of these kind of things are in the sales capacity assessment suite. This is just a good sort of bottom line understanding of where we are right now and what kind of problem, to be frank, we have with our sales team. This team, honestly, I would say has some challenges.
Right. And what I really, our clients have really told us that they like is not only does it, when you look at the team sales excuse index, it really, allows you to take a step back and just kind of get a big picture of your team, but the descriptions, people have really found the descriptions to be really helpful. So if you think about M. Mitchell, who is at the very bottom in that kind of almost about 10, 11% green zone, it actually describes what his excuse index is. And so I can read it here, so especially for those of you that it's really small, I'm going to try my best. But it says, prioritizes selling over most other tasks, as understands the importance of sales and opportunity it provides, considers oneself as a salesperson who can sell anything, is not afraid of obstacles. So not only does it tell you what his score is, which is around 10, 11%, but it describes what his in this case, actually low score, which is your better score, means.
Yeah, I'm glad you actually found Mitchell, because my Zoom toolbar was there. I didn't even see Mitchell because I was getting a little concerned. Yeah, Mitchell is down all the way down there. You absolutely, and you very correct. The descriptors are there, so you can look at the right. What does that actually mean at a team level? Of course, then you can always refer to the individual assessments for more information. You want to get more specific. So yeah, thank God for Mitchell, because otherwise we really have some challenges. And that score, like you said, probably about 11%, very super. They are very focused on selling.
Yeah,
And absolutely. And one thing about this, like what you were just referring to, Christina, is that like when we do certification for our DISC assessments, actually most of our clients use DISC in the past, so they learn extended DISC very quickly, and a lot of them don't even need the certification. But most people, when they are a little bit new to this, they do need some help in understanding how to interpret, for example, the profiles. What we are finding with the sales capacity assessment is that there is no need to do certification, because sales managers, salespeople, sales trainers, they get this assessment because it is designed to be intuitive. And that was really our plan. How do we make sure that the time is spent on focusing, what do we actually use in practical terms with the information, rather than spending our time learning to interpret the information? They are very easy to use.
Exactly. So what Markku and I have kind of presented to you today is the page that's usually generated for an individual, the sales excuse index for that particular individual, as well as the excuse index for an entire team. So you can run this as two separate reports. And they're really just, in this case, the first one was just a one-page report. This one also is just a one-page report. So you can see how simple and directed the data is for you to be able to use it, or you can incorporate it into much more comprehensive reports as well.
Yeah, Christina, this is something I haven't had a chance to talk with you, but I've been doing with some of our clients. If you already are one of our clients and you want to test this out, we can very easily set up a demo for you, because looking at these sample reports, while you get the concept, really the proof is in the data that is for your employees. So if you want to run a demo with some of your salespeople, let us know. We'll set that up, no charge, no commitment, because we believe in this product. And I think if you try it, you will become a believer as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. We do have our regular webinar, our Wednesday webinar, and that's tomorrow. We'll be focusing on eye styles, just a quick introduction overview to eye styles. If you missed our D style last week, don't worry, we've got it recorded. It's on our it's on our YouTube channel. You can find it there, Extended Disc North America. We do also have another webinar as part of our Tuesday summer series, and that will be on the hiring report. And that will be 2 o'clock next week. And for any of our webinars, You can go to our extendedgist.org website and click on the what, Marku?
Top right-hand corner, the events tab, and please sure to register even if you can make the time and date, because we will send you the recording so you can share it with your colleagues and listen to on your own at the time that is very convenient for you.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Thanks, Christina. Bye now.
Thanks.